Hello and welcome to Butlins Minehead for the Players' Championship Finals. We have got 3 days of action here down in the southwest, with 2 stages taking place simultaneously for the first couple of days. I'm Dan Dawson, alongside me is Paul Nicholson. Here on stage 2, Reds Bar. This is the place where the darts hipsters go. Yeah, you can go on the main stage of the big TV cameras and big money and all this sort of stuff. Right here, we're doing more work for less money. It's exactly how P. Diddy or the Notorious B.I.G. would have wanted it, probably. Anyway, Paul, thank you very much for joining us. You're going to be here for the next couple of days, and we've got some pretty impressive games on the way. We start with the former world champion Scott Mitchell and Martijn Kleermaker, the Dutch giant.
Yeah, looking forward to this a lot. And a clash of styles in this first game, that's for sure. The fast Kleermaker against the deliberate Scott Mitchell. I'll be fascinated to see just how Martijn adapts to the pace of a man he's never played in PDC darts before. And of course it is best of 11 all the way through this afternoon, and of course tonight's session from 7 o'clock.
Well, a real clash of styles we've got here. Martijn Kleermaker, one of the quickest players in the game. Scott Mitchell is not, but he has turned up with his bespoke shirt with Players' Championship Finals 2021 in what appear to be sequins on the back of it. So full marks for that, Scotty got.
60.
Yeah, his commute hasn't been that long compared to Martijn's. From Dorset, of course, so straight down the coast
93.
to Somerset to come to Minehead, just ahead of his World Championship debut in the PDC. Did, of course, win at the Lakeside some 6 and a bit years ago. But he's going to have his first crack at a PDC World Championship in a matter of a month.
It's going to be a first crack for Martijn Kleermaker as well, isn't it? Having missed out due to COVID last year. But they're certainly dangerous, dangerous players. Am I right in thinking that, is that the Dorset flag that Scott has got on his collar there?
You would be correct. Very proud of being from Dorset, a beautiful county. And he's had a good season, Scott Mitchell. Comes into this tournament in 30th position on the Players' Championship Order of Merit. So based on the way that this tournament started back in 2009, he would have qualified for the smaller field that they had back then, because it was only 32 players in the first few seasons.
Yeah, I think that's always a good indication. I think that the tournament has benefited from expanding the field to 64, no doubt. The strength in depth in PDC darts now is better than ever, in my opinion. But if you're making it into that top 32, so you would have qualified before they expanded the field, I think that's a really good indication that you've been more than holding your own on the circuit over the last 12 months. Talk a bit more about the qualification process over the course of this weekend, but Kleermaker's left himself on 1-4-3. The avenue of opportunity shots. Alan Norris to go treble 14 or treble 11 here. More standard from Kleermaker.
Kleermaker's going to have to be patient in this game.
90.
Because he likes the rat-a-tat-tat stuff.
21.
He likes to play the likes of Humphreys or the Van Gerwens of this world. So he's going to have a lot more time at the back of the stage in between his throws. Mitchell
57.
leaves himself on 64.
56.
Kleermaker in for the first leg.
Game on the first leg.
Okay, he's taken out 56 there. So our scoreboard error, he did actually require 56. I'm looking at a separate scoreboard we've got on our laptops here, which takes a few seconds to catch up. But 56 was taken out, and taken out correctly by Martijn Kleermaker. So what a start to the weekend we've had.
100.
I'm just glad for Martijn that he did get that right. There's nothing worse than busting your shot.
Now that would be a great start to the game. First to 6 legs, so it is Pro Tour rules, a fitting way to play the opening couple of rounds of this tournament. Bearing in mind that's how they've played for 98% of the tour. I know they have longer formats in the semis and the finals in the Players' Championship events, but qualifying for this is solely based on those events, and we had 30 of those this year, which is pretty impressive going, considering all the restrictions and travel problems that players have had from all over the world. So to get 30 events on, a lot of them in Super Series chunks of events in 3 or 4 Players' Championships in as many days. Scott Mitchell, 30th. And the order of merit from that, Martijn Kleermaker, 35th.
So based on what we were saying about Scott Mitchell, Kleermaker would have just missed out with the old field. But it just goes to show that 5 places between them in that order of merit means that they've had very similar seasons. But Mitchell, with 4 quarterfinals this year, just steady Eddie stuff. And Kleermaker, of course, making his first final where he lost out to Dirk van Dijvenbode.
Yeah, pretty close game as well. It wasn't the highest quality game we've ever seen, but it was close. It was nervy, both men going for the first PDC titles. 130 there for Scott Mitchell. Leaves him on 71.
140.
Even a 180 would not have got Kleermaker down to a finish. He's on 203 right now. Scotty Dog will look at the 13s here, I think. Single 18 for tops. For a 15 dart leg.
31.
Like Dan said, no opportunity to strike here for Martijn Kleermaker. I was hoping
133.
he's given a shot next time after that beautiful use of the treble 19. But it's tops for Mitchell. To level things up at 1 leg all, and that's exactly what we have after the first 2 legs.
Yeah, 16 darter from Mitchell with Kleermaker back on 70, and that is rather unfortunate.
That's what I like to call the grandfather clock.
I like it. It's good.
I like that dart as well from Mitchell. There's a pure second one. He's looking for the perfect 1 right, 1 left. But he finds the lot to the glee of this Southwest England crowd who are cheering Scott on. Of that, there is no doubt.
Yeah, always get good crowds. I'm not sure whether we're at capacity here this weekend. I haven't had that confirmed, but it's certainly busy here in Reds Bar. Aren't managed to produce
140.
back-to-back 180s, but 180, 140 is a great start to this leg for Scott Mitchell as he looks to force the breaker throw. As you can see, we have our scoreboard back,
59.
and he's got to get 6 darts from here, Scotty Dog, to move into the lead.
This is where you want to leave 76 minimum. You want to have 1 dart at a double, not the bullseye, when you return. And that's a great last dart.
Some players would have looked at the bullseye like last dart, wouldn't they? Because a 25 would mean 1 treble would leave you a double to finish.
140.
Correct. With 81 here, unless he goes 25 first, of course, it's going to be 1 dart at the bull if he gets 2 singles. This is for a break, and he has got 2 darts at double 12. That is clinical stuff from Scott Mitchell. And what I love about that shirt that you mentioned is that the dog has got a collar with 1 gold star on it.
Yeah.
Just really thoughtful, in my opinion.
There you go. Yeah. Scott Mitchell has a gold star because he won a world championship. Apparently the dog gets one as well. So he hasn't. We haven't seen him bring on his invisible dog with a lead on his walk-on yet. But I think there was some talk on social media that he might bring it in for everybody. We shall see.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
I'm not sure how that would go down. I'm really happy for Scott, though. I've seen what he's done over the last 6 or 7 years. He's really brought his game to a new level. And this debut at Ali Pali, I think, is very much overdue.
Well, even when he was playing on the PDC circuit without having had a tour card, he was still very competitive. He was enjoying loads of really good battles with the likes of Gerwin Price and Michael van Gerwen. He is dangerous. Martijn Kleermaker is finding him pretty tough to handle at the minute.
He's mentally astute as Scott Mitchell.
95.
Spends a lot of time in a tractor, ploughing those fields, and has plenty of time to exercise his thoughts about pressure. And it is pressure that is put on him on his own throw in leg 4. And Mitchell surely has got to use the 19s here.
Well, he could have used the big 1, but it's not a very good route. Oh, he's persisting with it.
I'm not a really big fan of that route.
59.
You're going to have to go to the 18s at some
Martijn, you
point there,
require
aren't you?
81.
But we'll discuss that. Now then. Martijn Kleermaker going the bull route to guarantee a dart at the outer ring. He's been given that luxury by Mitchell not being down to a finish. Can't pin the double top, though.
It should be 2-2 in a second.
Should be bullseye here, I would think.
27. Martijn, you
Well, he went for the
require
15s to leave 170. In the end, he's hit the 2s, so it matters not. Kleermaker is being given loads of time, and he needs it right now because he can't find that double.
This tactic of using the small numbers to get to a finish, it's not one that I'm a big fan of. He's used the 1s and the 2s in trying to leave a finish in the last couple of visits.
Well, in this leg, he's hitting the 5s and the 2s and the 1s more regularly than he's hitting the big numbers he's going for, which is just offering up this golden opportunity for Kleermaker to break back. Scored very well in that leg, Martijn Kleermaker, but he can consider himself fortunate. He got so many chances to win it because Scott Mitchell was doing absolutely nothing to set the shot up.
We were having a little look before this match began, Dan, to see if they'd played before. And of course, it was only once a couple of years ago in the WDF World Cup. So they haven't played each other in best of 11 in PDC darts previously. So we don't have a great deal to go on. But it was Kleermaker that won that match.
It was. He went on to the semi-finals of that tournament. 4 perfect darts and 5 out of 6 in the end for Martijn Kleermaker to start this leg. We know that the Dutch giant, when he gets into a little groove, he can take the game away from you very, very quickly. Good stuff. Great response from Scott Mitchell. 4 180s in this contest so far, shared equally.
You don't want to be the first person out of this tournament, that's for sure. It's a long road back home. If you lose, let's say, 1:30 on the Friday afternoon. But Mitchell is not saying goodbye to this 5th leg without a fight.
100.
But Kleermaker, after 9 on 60, his best scoring leg of the match so far. And that's high enough. It would have left an open portion to the left and right of that tops that was marginally blocked, but this is a great chance for Mitchell now.
He took out double 10 in the first leg, Martijn Kleermaker, but he's missing it by quite a distance over the last couple. Mitchell's looking at the 11s here. Double 14. Great leg of darts, Scott Mitchell, and he knows it.
Bit of posturing there from Scott as well. I like that. You're coming to the Players' Championship finals here. You are here to win a biggie. Only 6 players have won this before. And Michael van Gerwen has won 5 of the last 6.
140.
Well, this game is heating up. Their averages were down in the sort of low 80s after the slow start.
57.
But the big scores have become more regular over the last 3 legs or so, and the averages have climbed into the low 90s for the pair of them.
The winner of this game will take on either Johnny Clayton or Alan Tabben. And don't assume that Alan Tabben is going to be rolled there by the World Grand Prix champion and Premier League champion Johnny Clayton. Tabben has been dangerous at times this year. And there are many close matches to come on this board throughout the course of the afternoon. We've got Ryan Joyce against Luke Woodhouse next. I think this is your favourite, isn't it? Martin Schindler against Ian White, and that's in the 3rd game.
Absolutely. There's only one person who beat Gerwin Price at the Grand Slam last week, Martin Schindler. Admittedly, he played pretty poorly in his other 2 games because he couldn't hit a double to save his life, but he's been brilliant on the tour over the course of this year. Scott Mitchell has 6 darts from here to open up a 2-leg lead in this match for the first time.
He looks really focused today, Scott Mitchell. She'll go 25 and bull.
65.
Sensible. Leaves the 2 darter. And Kleermaker is hoping for a maximum here to leave double 12.
100. Scott, you require 96.
Just the 8 points between them. But Mitchell can do this in 2 darts. Kleermaker would probably have to use all 3. He gets that extra dart at the double with this one. And he makes use of it. Important stuff. We have a 4-2 lead for Scott Mitchell.
If you wanted an example of why you use the bullseye in 25, that is it. Because you do not want to be sitting on 101 there, where you only get one dart at double 18 potentially, if you go a certain treble 15 and double 18 route. But if you get the 60, you've got the bonus of those two. And use dart 2 there. He was accurate to open up that 2-leg cushion. Perfectly tactical in that approach. And the execution was good in the end as well.
Yeah, it's all about risk and reward. And 121 left with one dart in your hand. You can go treble 20. You gamble, you hit the treble, great. You know, you're going to be left with 61, but you might only still get one dart at a double if you hit a couple of singles.
95.
But using the bullseye there, the 25, you don't need to hit the bullseye. You still get a 2-darter.
131.
Nicely done from Kleermaker to leave the 130. Mitchell's just got to be clever with his numbers here.
He's going to go south first. I don't know about that. But now he has to either stay on the 60 or switch, but he does get there in the end. A lot of people like to start on the 20s on 266. People love a bullseye at the end of a 130, though.
87.
That really was delivered quickly. I think even for Kleermaker, that was a bit quick.
It's on. But no longer. And Kleermaker's got a choice here. He's not been great on tops and 10s. Does he go for the 11 here? No. He persists and it works.
Scott to throw first. Game on.
It's been a funny old season, Dan. You look at someone like Kleermaker who has made a final for the first time, and you would assume that maybe he will be seeded quite high. But look at some of the players that we got coming up for you a little bit later on tonight. You look at someone like Chris Dobie, who's won 2 tournaments this year. He's only ranked 16th. That surprised me massively.
Yeah, particularly when you look at the averages over the course of the year. Chris Dobie's in the top 10. He really has been playing an incredible level right the way through this year on the Pro Tour. And it's only been intermittently that he's been perhaps getting the rewards he deserves for the excellence he's produced.
Just to embellish that point as well, we have Damon Hetta coming up tonight against Steve Lennon. He hasn't won a tournament this year and is ranked higher than Chris Dobie. So what does that tell you?
Interesting.
Finalist from last year, Mervyn King.
41.
Who loves to pull a face or two here at the Players' Championship Finals. He is up against Darius Labanauskas in match 4. So I think he's probably been here since 8 o'clock this morning.
Not much in this game. Wants to stay on the 20s, but he's blocked a lot of it. He hadn't blocked that bit. That's a great dart from Scott Mitchell.
I think the word you would use there, Dan, is surgical. That was a fine margin he had on that 60 bet. He could have gone bullseye to leave 170, of course. But by getting that 60, does he give himself the opportunity of winning this leg in 6 now?
Got to stay straight. Even better than that. Gives himself a single to double combo. Does he stay there? He does. Double 15. What a shot! And you hear the celebration from Martijn Kleermaker. The Dutch giant levels at 4 apiece.
Mitchell was taking a sip of water there, Dan. And he was just hoping that our referee was not going to see a game shot in the 8th leg. Unfortunately, Scott, Kleermaker has taken that leg. A superb shot to give himself the darts back.
Well, you saw Scott Mitchell earlier on when he took out that 1-2-1 checkout, went 3-2 up, and he made sure Martijn Kleermaker knew about it. Stood there, fist out, just reminding his opponent, I've just done something special to cause you a problem. Kleermaker has taken a different approach and just yelled at him.
This is where you've got to do all that hard work again. You've got to find that break of throw somehow. And break the confidence that Kleermaker has created for himself with that 150 finish. And we know that Kleermaker's really good at finishing the job when he gets confident. The one thing that I'm really pleased about for Kleermaker, touch wood, is that he's going to get his debut at Alexandra Palace this year.
Very unfortunate last year, missing out due to COVID. He was going in with some form as well. And I think this weekend, obviously the last tournament before Ali Pali, apart from guys who'll be playing the qualifier for it on Monday, it is an opportunity not just to win a big title, not just to win money and save tour cards potentially for a lot of players, or some players I should say, but it is a great opportunity to just take some confidence and momentum into the biggest tournament in the world. 12th segment. Double 13.
68.
Flying around the board, can't pin the double. Can Mitchell hit back with a massive combo finish of his own?
Traditional route. Again, it's the small number treble that robs him of a chance.
54.
This is one of those numbers that these pros will very rarely practice. Double 6. And he's in for a 5-4 lead. He maintains the advantage of throw, and Mitchell is at the point of no return.
Martijn Kleermaker led at 1-0 up. Scott Mitchell levelled at 1-1, then went into the lead. He has not been ahead at any point in this game since then, Martijn Kleermaker, until just now, right at the death. He beat Scott Mitchell in the WDF World Cup a couple of years ago in a last leg decider. Are we going the distance in this one as well?
I wouldn't be surprised, Dan, because Scott Mitchell does everything with a degree of patience. He'll not rush here. He's very well versed in different darting challenges, Scott. He's been around the block a few times. And the thing about these guys playing in the old BDO days is that they played a lot of short format stuff. So they were all versed in playing last leg deciders or best of 3 or best of 5. This is going to be a very familiar situation for Scott. And he's doing the right thing here in leg 10. Gets to the finish first.
Yeah, Kleermaker cannot leave a finish. It's one of those numbers. A lot of players, even when they get past down 400, they're thinking, what shall I leave? Because I want to give myself an opportunity to get out in 2 visits. You cannot do it from 359. Mitchell will know that. So it just relieves a bit of pressure.
131.
Scott Mitchell with a perfect leg read
60.
under this kind of pressure.
Scott, you require 36.
Still got a lot to do, but dispatch this leg and then have a crack at him in leg 11. Double 18. Second dart is successful for the second time on double 18 in this match, and it's a one-leg shootout. We'll see who makes it into round 2.
All comes down to this. Scott Mitchell may be averaging 4 or 5 points more than Martijn Kleermaker, but 4 or 5 points doesn't mean anything if he fails to get the break of throw here. Could hear a pin drop there in those second and third darts, couldn't you? It's always a great atmosphere in Red's Bar.
100.
Old school darters would want the 5-ton game here. But is a 15 darter going to be enough to break Kleermaker in this last leg? We did get a 5-ton game from Fallon Sherrick against Peter Wright at the Grand Slam. It's a very rare thing these days, and we're not going to get it from Mitchell, because he's done something better than a ton in his second visit of this last leg.
81.
Sort of rescues it with that last dart, Martijn Kleermaker, but the darts have been stolen. Scott Mitchell has the advantage. Oh dear.
41.
Wow. Pressure. It's one of the worst darts we've seen thrown in the game, that one into the skinny one. It was a long way away from his target, and it's only pressure that has caused it.
Need power in another.
100.
He is first to the finish, but Mitchell's only 60 behind.
A ton leaves Shanghai. Oh my word, that's a nightmare dart. That is a nightmare visit. Back to back nightmare visits really for Scott Mitchell, just when he turned it in his favour.
That's in. So is that. He knows how important that is, because now he has a guaranteed shot at double 10 to get rid of Scott Mitchell, to dispatch him into the weekend mist. Whereas Kleermaker will stick around.
This double 10 has not been easy for him so far today. And he remains way, way outside with all three darts. Match darts missed. And Scott Mitchell is one treble away from getting darts himself. Treble 19. Missed opportunity. How many more will he get? Kleermaker on double 10 has not been reliable all the way through this game. He has pinned it a couple of times, but he has missed it many, many more.
Martijn, you require 20.
Second down and 20. Double 5. And he's missed 6 match darts at 2 different doubles. What a chance for Mitchell to finish this off.
Well, Scott Mitchell here wants 32, doesn't he?
He hit the treble 10 the last dart.
And he pins it. Scott Mitchell gets out of a hole by pinning double 8, but Martijn Kleermaker, double 10, has cost him this match. It cost him early on. He turned it round regardless, and Scott Mitchell is nearly in tears. 6 match darts survive, but Scotty Dog will take on either Alan Taban or Johnny Clayton in the next round here in Minehead.